Good morning. Welcome. Let me get my presentation going. So this is the teetotaler session, I'm told. These are all the people that didn't go out partying last night, or if you did, you didn't drink. Well done. I think you probably missed a good party, but I'm glad you're here to join my party. And I'm standing right in front of a projector, so that's not a good place to stand. Let me stand all the way over here and try and point at the screen. Yes, it will hold me. So soft layer technologies, I'm going to introduce what we do. So if you're not familiar with soft layer, you will be at the end of the session. And then I'm going to run through 3 quick case studies of customers on our platform, gaming companies, publishers and developers who sit on our platform and have used our platform to deliver a global capability. So quickly about soft layer. We were founded in 2005 in Dallas, Texas by a bunch of guys who had come out of the internet and hosting space. We were born on the web, we were born native to this space, and we have developed a great business, and now quite a large business, focused on a small number of sectors, particularly companies that were born on the web, born on the cloud. In fact, we were doing cloud computing before it got called cloud computing. We came up with this really neat platform that was scalable and interactive and easy to use, and we didn't realize at the time that we were building what everyone else was going to call cloud. So we started that in 2005. We launched the business in 2006, and we come from the hosting space. That's all we do. We do infrastructure as a service, and there's nothing else that we try and do. We're not a search company. We don't write software for applications. We're not a bookseller. We do one thing and one thing really well, and that's infrastructure as a service. In July last year, we were acquired by IBM. We're an independent operating unit. We still continue under the soft layer brand, and we have a high degree of independence. But what IBM have brought to the party is a significant investment. So in addition to what they paid for us, which is a non-disclosed sum, they announced in January of this year $1.2 billion investment in the soft layer platform, and that's being invested to drive growth in our footprint in particular, which I'll touch on, and drive growth in the capabilities of our platform. So for us, that's great news. That sees us deliver the single largest footprint in the hosting sector in the cloud space. We are the #1 hosting provider to the gaming sector. At any one time, we have around 100 million gamers on our platform, and it peaks a lot higher than that. So I'm going to tell you a bit about our platform, how to use it, and how others are using it, and sort of back up those statements and back up those credentials. Very quickly, in terms of, this is the only technology diagram, if you can call it that. What do we do? I'm going to dive down here a little bit on what makes us different. So virtual instances on the right there in the middle, that's kind of typical. That's what everyone in the cloud space does. That's public cloud, cloud instances, virtualized. You can bring them up in 5-10 minutes per instance. It doesn't matter if you've got 10 instances or 100 instances. You can bring them up very, very quickly, programmatically if you want to, manually, use them for however long you want, and then release them or take them down. You pay for what you use. People are quite comfortable and used to this model, and in our environment, we sell those virtual instances by the hour or by the month. It's done entirely online, and you can run a wide range of application environments. We use Zen as our primary, our underlying hypervisor, but you can run pretty much anything you want in that environment if you want that cloud, public cloud type experience. We also do the big storage, NAS, SAN type, the object storage. We run OpenStack Swift as our storage platform. And these technologies run in every single data center we're in. We don't separate them out and just put all of our storage in one place and virtual somewhere else. You get to pick where you want to run these, your applications and put your storage. We don't move things for you. We let you choose. So if you've got any issues with domiciling any data, we help you get around that by, we don't migrate stuff around. But our big difference is over here on the left. We do bare metal servers as well. Bare metal, you may otherwise call them dedicated servers. So these are bare metal servers sitting in a rack, ready to go. Any operating system, any hypervisor. They're a raw machine and you get total control over that machine. In the gaming sector, this is a critical factor for performance. If you build up an environment and you're used to a dedicated environment with a particular hypervisor and a particular operating system build, be it Linux, Windows, or anything that runs on x86, this is an ideal platform. And the thing that we do differently and the thing that we enable you to do is you can run up these servers in 2 to 4 hours at any of our data centers around the world, and that's 1, 10, 100, 2 to 4 hours for all of them. You pay for them by the hour or by the month. We do not do long-term contracts. You'll be familiar if you've been in the gaming space long enough that you start off, you launch a game, you don't know how long you're going to, this game's going to be out there in the market. You don't know how long you're going to be at sort of that ramp-up stage before you hit the inflection point up that hockey stick. So you don't know how rapidly you're going to need to build up, and you certainly don't want to be spending capital on your own infrastructure. So what we deliver to you is a bare metal environment that can be mixed with a virtual environment. You can build from that I know it's a bit pixelated, this is my 8-bit version. So you can build an entire solution in public cloud. We can do a hosted hybrid cloud. For us, hybrid means dedicated servers and cloud instances in the same data center on the same piece of wire, and a hosted private cloud. The fastest way to bring up new instances is to be running your own virtualized environment. So that is an option entirely within our environment, and then we can cluster. So there's a wide number of solutions that you can build entirely in our environment, x86, any operating system, any hypervisor, and that includes no hypervisor. So if you don't want a hypervisor at all, you can still do a pure build, 2 to 4 hours, get 10 servers up and running right now, anywhere in any of our data centers around the world to meet that demand of your customers. And then, as you will find, demand tapers off, you just start releasing them, giving them back. No long-term contracts, no penalty. So hour by hour or month by month, you just start giving them back, and until your next game is released and you see the next ramp up. Now we put this together on our own network design. We refer to as our triple network architecture. Every single node, every single server is connected to 3 separate networks using 5 network ports. 2 onto the public internet, 2 onto our private network, and a 3rd onto a management network. The management network gives you full out-of-band control over your server, so you can KVM in, secure connection, and you have access all the way down, right through the hardware stack, through the operating system and whatever you're doing, as if you're sitting right next to it, next to that server. The second network is, as I said, our private network. That gives you connectivity any to any in our environment. Any server to any other server, security permitting. You can connect them together on the same VLAN or span VLANs anywhere around the world. And a critical difference for us and a critical difference for gaming companies is if you're moving data between servers anywhere in the world, we don't charge you for that. The only thing we charge you for is data leaving the network, and we tariff that pretty much based on if you buy a server, any bare metal server for a month, you get 20 terabytes of data outbound. Anything inbound is free. Anything you move between servers in the same data center around the world in the SoftLayer environment is free. So that's a huge saving for you if you're moving data around the world, if you've got a federated model in multiple locations. We wrap that together in our own data center design. I'm not going to go into any detail there. And then we make this all happen through our own software. This is proprietary software. We refer to it as IMS, Infrastructure Management System, but you don't need to know about that. But that's the stuff you're talking to when you go online. Everything we do in our IMS system, all the provisioning, the releasing, the configuration of firewalls, the configuration of DNS, everything you need to do can be done programmatically. So you can write your control system against our API set, and no one needs to be sitting there manually configuring servers. So a very flexible and capable system. Our footprint, I mentioned that IBM have made this $1.2 billion investment. So I'm just going to outline where we are today and where we're going to be by the end of this year based on that investment. So the red dots are where we are today. So these are full data centers. They run everything we do. So we've got 11 data centers today in the US. Amsterdam is live. London goes live. London goes live next month. Hong Kong goes live next week. Singapore is live. We've been here for about 2.5 years now. The green dots are network POPs. Data centers for us are also network POPs. We run a separate location for a POP and data center. And the grey dots, blue, depending on how you can see that out there, those are the data centers we are going to be opening by Christmas this year. So here in Asia, we're going into Tokyo, we're going into somewhere in China, we're still working on that, somewhere in India, we're still working on that, going to Sydney and Melbourne. That will also, so that will be the set we'll have here this year. We're also opening Frankfurt and Paris this year, Sao Paulo, Mexico City, Toronto, Ottawa, and I think that's 2 others in the US, but that's for the federal government, so they're not on our network. The dark lines represent our private network. So I said how we've got this capability that you can move data server to server anywhere in the world. Well, that sits on our own private network. This is a tier 1 carrier grade network that we've put together ourselves. Each of those lines represents at least 20 gigabits of data. In the US, that mesh runs at 80 to 100 gig. And that's that free network I mentioned. So you're moving data on a very high-speed network anywhere around the world into our locations at no cost. And the yellow lines are the network we're building out now in support of our new data centers. So for a gaming company, this adds a huge capability in terms of being able to distribute the application. You can have database servers, the core back end, and then populate webheads around the world, shifting data rapidly at no cost, or you can have a truly distributed model, or as a number of our customers do, just run a big clustered environment in 1 or 2 locations to serve the globe. We also overlaid on this is a CDN network and a peering relationships with over 500 carriers globally to deliver very high performance connectivity for end users. We built this for media companies. We built this for gaming companies. And we've now started overlaying corporates onto this. And it's driving us into a new direction. But the core of what we do is delivering high performance compute for born on the web companies like gamers.
Developers are all about speeds and feeds. It's all about latency. It's all about how fast does it run. I often sit with enterprises who ask me about how mission critical and how's the performance of the cloud. And I tell them if you can make gamers happy, you can make anybody happy.
So that was Lance Crosby, our CEO. He's now called an IBMer. I guess we all are. But what it highlights is our experience in building our capability for the gaming space, for the media space, has been critical for us to be able to deliver now capabilities in the enterprise. So it's building that network, building that bare metal capability, building that that virtualized public cloud capability to deliver low latency, high performance, low cost solutions for you has enabled us to now architect solutions for all sorts of other businesses. I'm going to very quickly, I'm not going to go through this in any depth, in terms of the sorts of offerings, full range of offerings, load balancing, CDN firewall, high security, that private network to connect anything to anything, that out-of-band management network which gives you secure access to totally control your servers, it gives you a very high level of control and you can optimize for performance. And you'll have access to these slides. I know it's a bit small to read from out there somewhere. So This is intended to sort of talk through some common scenarios that you face, scaling up, scaling down, global presence, focusing on particular markets. I want to very quickly just touch on 3 companies that sit on our platform that you may or may not have heard of. The first one is Garena. These guys host 60 million gamers. They're a Singaporean company, so we like to really shout about these guys. And they, what they like about dealing with us is, in addition to all of that capability I've mentioned, is we're very easy to deal with. We have support people available 24/7, and we don't charge you for support. That's included. We think that that should be something you expect, and we give you the ability to totally understand your environment, analyze that environment. The next is Kulu. This is a company based out of Switzerland. Again, they launched a new game, their latest game, Recharge. They needed something that would be able to scale very quickly. And I'm going to say it again, that notion that you hit that hockey stick, you're going to hit a plateau, then you're going to fall off. So for us, probably the best example is we hosted the Draw Something environment before they got acquired. I'm sure some of you still remember Draw Something. I can't be the oldest person in the room. I probably am. But that was an overnight sensation. It took about a year to become an overnight sensation. And then it was the game everyone was playing about, I think, 3 years ago at Christmas. And then, bang, it just stopped being cool to play. No one wanted to talk to you if you sent them a request to play it. And so they went from adding new servers every week, every day, and to just hitting a wall and just plummeted. You need to be able to contain your costs, and that means being able to release those servers back. So that's the sort of environment we're delivering to Kulu. Scale up, scale down, no commit, no penalty for returning them. And finally, Multiplay. They host a number of different games like Minecraft, Battlefield 4, a large number of users. So again, they need something that can handle a huge number of connections at the same time on a global footprint. Although their primary focus is the European market, they do have global users, large number of users. As I said, right now on the SoftLayer platform globally, we have at least 100 million gamers on our platform. That's a huge number, that's a huge capability, and that's not made up of 2 or 3 big games or big publishers. So overview of all the sorts of industries we work in, trying to get my finger to the right place. Games and entertainment, a wide range of different companies, big and small, publishers, independent developers. We work with the whole range to provide an optimized solution. And that's really what SoftLayer is all about. I'd invite you to come to our booth next door. We're the guys with the rack there, and you get to play a game. And if you have the fastest time, you can win a MacBook Air. We're happy to answer any questions, because I think I'm out of time to answer any questions. I must be. Thank you very much.